Monday Night Raw was in Atlanta, Georgia, as it was one of the most anticipated Raws in quite some time because you had two major segments announced a week before the show, in which you had Roman Reigns returning to give an update on his health, and of course you had Ric Flair's birthday celebration. So we start the show on as high of a note as I think you can possibly start the show. You have Roman Reigns return, and he just gets an amazing reaction, to say the least. It was just 100% positive. I think the fans, who were booing him 6 months ago before his leukemia announcement, all just realized whatever we thought of him, how he was booked before that, means nothing. This is a person who is battling cancer. I'm sure every person in the crowd knows someone in their life who has battled cancer, so I thought this was a very classy move by the fans. A very good segment. Just actually an amazing segment. It's 100% cheers, and he, before he even does anything, he just goes and he just high fives everyone in the crowd, and he hugs his wife, he hugs his mother for a long time, and that was just a really great moment. And he gets in the ring, he thanks the fans, they're cheering him. He talks about how he's gonna use the WWE platform to fight for people who are suffering like he suffered. He talks about how he was nervous, how he didn't know how his cancer would go, how he was terrified, how he had to relinquish the title, and it's a really long, something just completely from the heart. It's 100% true. He's not Roman here, he's just Joe. That was really good. And then finally, he eventually gets to his health status. He announces cancer in remission, which a lot of people heard, in remission. I don't know if people know. When you're in remission, you still, I believe, have to go with your treatment. So I was shocked when he came back and started being physical, because if you're in remission, you still have to undergo treatment. But it was, again, really from the heart. He thanked the fans again, all cheers. Just an amazing segment, amazing thing to see. It was great. After he gets to the ramp, Seth Rollins music hits, and they hug, and there was no Dean Ambrose. I thought they might have Ambrose. They made it final Shield reunion, but there was Rollins. And it was really good. That was the last time we'd see Rollins again not till later in the show, but this was really well done. And it was it's hard to even give credit to the company for this. It was just 100% Roman Reigns from the heart, and that's what really made the segment amazing. As high of a note as you can ever start a show in the crowd after this, 100% hyped. After that, we go to a tag match. We get Aleister Black and Ricochet against the Revival. They had a good tag match. Crowd was into it, thank God. It's we don't have a dead crowd for these two guys that they had to go through last week. It was a fun match, but the Revival, they've won the tag titles. They've been jobbed out twice. I know it's to NXT guys, but lose to Gargano and Ciampa last week. Now you lose to Ricochet and Aleister Black. It's not a good sign for Revival. It's this tag team reign is going to be a complete and utter disaster. Then we get our first misfire tonight. You have Charlie Caruso, who wasn't a misfire, but she was interviewing Baron Corbin. Horrible segment. It's he's calling out Roman Reigns. I'm thinking to myself, we're really going to have to see Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin as Roman's first feud back. Maybe he's going to come back sooner, because the way they hype this up looks like it's going to be quick. Fastlane, I hope we don't have to see that match. We won't see it at WrestleMania. If he wrestles at WrestleMania, it'll be something bigger, but man, Baron Corbin's terrible. They show Shawn Michaels backstage with Johnny Gargano, all of them at Ric Flair's birthday. They come back and they show Snoop Dogg on the Titantron. He's wishing Ric Flair happy birthday. Elias is in the ring. He's trying to sing, and then Lacey Evans interrupts him. I heard Lacey Evans is getting a major push. They want her to be as big, the third biggest star in the company, the female star behind Becky and Charlotte after Ronda leaves after WrestleMania. I'm feeling myself, are you kidding me? What the hell is this? She's horrible. Elias is there in the ring, and Ambrose comes out. They mention the Academy Awards. They take a shot at Atlanta. Ambrose did not join Rollins and Reigns earlier in the show, and they go back and forth, and eventually Ambrose lays him out with the DDT. And it was a weird segment. I was like, that's it. That's all we're going to get. You have the Riot Squad come out next. It didn't lead to a match at all. And they come to ring, and they go back to backstage after commercial. We see Ricky Steamboat being interviewed to talk about Ric Flair. Then we get Ronda Rousey and Talia come out, and we have a tag match. And this was the second really big news story. So this was another major segment. And this was a part of the show, not like a personal segment like Roman's was, but this is a part of the show. So what happens is Ronda Rousey and Natalya have a match which Natalya gets her ass kicked for like 80% of the match by the Riot Squad. They're beating her ass or destroying her. And then finally, Becky Lynch comes out and through the crowd, and she attacks Natalya while she was on the outside. She gets disqualified. Becky destroys Natty. She goes after everyone there. And then eventually, Ronda just loses her shit. She wants to fight Becky. She keeps going after her. And because of what Becky happened last time with Becky Lynch, if she comes out again while she's suspended, she's going to be arrested, and they do an arrest storyline with Becky Lynch, which was a really good storyline and a really good segment. She's detained by officers, and it's such a fake arrest, though. Once she's up the ramp, then they don't even, like, say you're under arrest, they just put handcuffs on her, so it looked fake as fuck. But Becky's in jail. She's Stone Cold Becky Lynch. That's what they want to do, Stone Cold Becky. 100% like an Austin segment. So when they did this, I was saying, so if that's all we're going to get with Becky tonight, maybe Becky's not going to be part of the Ric Flair segment. I was thinking it's going to be a huge birthday celebration. They're going to have a giant cake, and Becky's going to jump out of the cake and attack Charlotte. That's not what we got here. So after this, Ronda's furious, and she calls out Vince McMahon to the ring. Stephanie comes out, and I just rolled my eyes. Ronda and Stephanie, I guess, are going to renew their rivalry, but Ronda... They tease it, and Ronda's furious. She's yelling at Stephanie. She demands Becky's reinstated. Stephanie keeps saying, no, I can't do that. She's suspended. She keeps yelling, and then Stephanie explains that there's nothing she can do. And then Ronda says, you know what? I've made a lot of money. I don't need to be here. She basically surrenders the title. She leaves in the middle of the ring until they make the right decision. She's done. Ronda Rousey walks out. So I guess that's how they get Becky back. That's fine. So I guess the thing is kind of make Ronda look like a babyface. So even though I think she's supposed to be a heel for this rivalry, but that's where they're going. It's probably going to be a triple threat match for sure. I think that's it, because I don't think they're doing Becky and Charlotte at Fastlane, even though it's promoted for a while. I think they're going full on with a triple threat. But I thought this was a really good segment. This is a big segment here, a big WrestleMania segment. It feels like this is like WrestleMania season now. It's been WrestleMania season for a while, but it feels like now, like, they're really grinding their teeth. It's time now to pull the lever, pull the trigger. So after that, after the Ronda segment, we are... The show, like, it's already had two major segments, and, like, Flair's coming out, so I think this is where the show, like, kind of takes a dip. When we come back, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. We just mentioned Stone Cold Becky Lynch, but Austin, he's wishing Ric Flair happy birthday. He can't be there. I don't know. I mean, I guess they couldn't have him there. I don't know. It's in Atlanta, so I think he lives in LA now. We have Triple H and Stephanie in the back. They're confused, don't know what to do. They're concerned. They have Jinder Mahal come out. It's a pretty boring segment. Eventually, he's interrupted by Kurt Angle. They have a match. It's not that long of a match. Kurt wins. Like, what a fall from grace from Jinder Mahal, where he was 2 years ago to where he is now. It's like he's in the exact same spot he was before he got that big run a couple years ago. So after the match, Angle beats up the Singh brothers. Then we have Alexa Bliss come out, who I have to say is the best-looking woman the company has ever had. She is unbelievably attractive. She is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous woman, and she's cute. She's sexy at the same time. It's like she's incredible. She can make any outfit look amazing. She talked about how she wants Ronda's title. Like she says, Ronda's not here. I want the title. She calls out Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince. She wants to be Raw Women's Champion again. I think they can do that because if they need to have a match like before WrestleMania, she's probably the one there because she's probably a star who was not doing anything. Because everyone else is tied up in the main event or the title tag team title picture. So I think Becky or Alexa would be a fine choice if they need to have Ronda face someone else. One more match for Mania, but Finn Balor comes out for the moment of bliss. That's her guest. And she's gushing all over him. She keeps saying, how the title is covering up her abs. And she says, if you show me your abs, Finn, I will show you and I guess she was going to say her tits or her ass. I think anything would have been fun with Alexa Bliss. And this is the biggest heat of the night. As soon as she says that, she's interrupted by Lio Rush, who sucks. Lio Rush just gets good heel heat here, I guess. And he challenges Finn Balor. They go back and forth, and Finn says, you know what, let's have a match for the Intercontinental title. They have a match. They go to the ring. Finn Balor beats Lio Rush. Match wasn't, it was all right. I mean, they gave Lio Rush way too much offense against Finn Balor, and that's a huge problem. It's like Finn Balor's not a big guy. A guy like Lio Rush is a joke. I mean, this guy's a 205 live guy. I don't know why he had to get so much offense on Balor. Balor retains. They show a good segment with Tucker Knight and Otis against the Ascension, even though the Ascension mean nothing. It was still a good segment. So they get Bobby Lashley, who's pissed off at Lio Rush. He faces Braun Strowman. And what happens is Lashley and Strowman, in which Lashley attacks Strowman before the match starts, and then Strowman attacks him. He lays him out and he beats down Lio Rush. So they're going to do something later, I think, just having Lashley be done with Rush, and maybe they'll release Rush. I'm going to be surprised because he has some heat on him. And look what happened to TJP. Just saying. Next, we have Charlie Caruso, who's been looking amazing, but tonight I have to say, give her that. Come on. You have to admit that. She interviews Seth Rollins, and he's emotional about Roman Reigns being back. Then he talks about the match with Brock Lesnar. I don't know what they're going to do with Roman in that match. It could be a situation where Roman's in Seth's corner. And people might not like to hear this, but Roman is still the guy over Seth. It's possible Brock beats Seth and then he loses it to Roman, because I don't think they can add Roman to the match, and I don't think they should. But he's still going to be the guy over Seth, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they go. We have a no DQ match, McIntyre and Ambrose, so it's a match for a while. McIntyre beats Dean Ambrose. We all knew this would happen. Dean, I don't know what he's going to do, but he loses to McIntyre here. And then after the match, you have Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley come out. They beat down Ambrose. And then out to make the save is Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Like, what the hell? Roman's always going to fight now? And they have Roman Reigns to get physical. So I guess he can clear. I think he's going to be back. I don't know if he's going to wrestle right away, but he did look winded, but he was hitting his Superman punch on both of them. He hit the spear, crowd's going nuts. It was a great segment. Roman he reigned supreme. This was a really good segment, but I don't know what's going to happen now, if he's going to be ready to wrestle. I don't know. I have no idea. So then we got a match that's in the death spot, and that was Bayley and Nia Jax. So Bayley and Sasha come out, and Nia and Tamina. Like, Nia usually gets heat. The crowds, I think, they're kind of dead now. Like, they're waiting for the Flair segment. Like, the show, it's been a long show. It's been a good show. A lot of big stuff have happened. But it's winding down on the death spot match. It gets some time, was surprising. But Bayley gets the win. I thought, like, why is this going so long? We're going to have no time for Ric Flair, until I saw what happened at the end. But Bayley beats Nia Jax, which made absolutely no sense, because I think they're going to give Nia Jax and Tamina the next shot at Fastlane. But they had Bayley pin Nia Jax. So then we get the final segment. We see a whole bunch of big stars in the back. They showed Sting earlier in the show, I forgot to mention, interacting with Titus O'Neil. So everyone's in the back. Triple H and Stephanie come out. It's their usual stick. They praise Ric Flair. They bring out, like, names. They bring out Shawn Michaels. They bring out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And they bring out Kurt Angle, which I thought, why don't bring out Sting? That would make more sense. But has Kurt been really that affiliated with Ric Flair? But then Ric Flair's coming out. His big birthday celebration. And he's out in the dressing room. They show the camera. Rick has been destroyed. Batista makes his return. He says, "Do I have your attention out of Triple H?" Batista is back. Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania.